Hi, my name is Nicolen Cabrera and my section is BPE 21. My first question is, teachers as evaluators should bear in mind the principles of high-quality classroom assessment that state. My answer is letter A, 1 and 2. It says here that assessment is a cooperative effort and a continuous process. When we say it is cooperative effort, when someone is teaching, they need the other teachers and students to have a cooperative effort for each other in their learning system. And a continuous process, the teachers need to teach the step-by-step process of the lesson in order for the students to cope up in their lessons. Number 2 question. Quality assessment procedure should be fair. This meant that my answer is letter D. Teachers are to inform students on the assessment procedure to be used. When the teacher are teaching the students, they need to inform them on what the lesson they will tackle in that assessment. Number 3 question. A table of specification or TOS, a guide to have a valid test, categorize test items by, my answer is B, 1 and 3, content and difficulty level. The content of table of specification is to achieve balance in the test, to identify the achievement domains being measured, and to ensure that a fair and representative sample of questions appear on the test. Table of specification allows us to ensure that our test focuses on the most important areas and weights different areas based on the importance time spent teaching. A table of specification also gives us the proof we need to make sure our test has content validity. The difficulty level of table of specification is to monitor performance of all students. The distribution of difficulty should match the distribution of achievement of the target population. 2 1/3 of tests, 30 to 70% answers correctly. 1 1/3 of tests, more than 70% answer correctly items that 30% are likely to answer. Note the exclusion of important areas of the curriculum simplify because students perform very poorly or very well on them. Number 4 question. In order to know whether a test is valid, it most important to know. My answer is letter C. An estimate of the reliability of a test. When the students will going to have an exam, the teachers need to validate the exam question. They need to have a background check if the exam has already used by the other teachers or students.
Good day everyone. My name is Mardion P. Pabustan from Bachelor of Physical Education 2-1. My first question. Miss Gia wanted her student to learn the skill in folk dancing. Her check-up assessment tool consisted of a written test on the step in executing a folk dance. Did she utilize a good instrument in assessing her student? My answer is no. It lacks of validity. This study was designed to determine if a folk dance performance checklist and had logical validity and to establish intra-rater and inter-rater reliability coefficient for raters using the checklist. The result of the study support the importance of a training session when using a checklist as a method to evaluate student performance. Ms. Gia need to train their children or student face-to-face or actual to being professional dancer someday. Classified the cognitive objectives below in terms of Bloom taxonomy. I chose identify the parts of the flower.
Bloom's taxonomy is a toolbox that teachers or students can use to classify and organize learning objectives. Its most popular version is based on the cognitive domain and assumes that learning should be structured from easy to difficult in the following 6 steps. 1. Remember. 2. Understand. 3. Apply. 4. Analyze. 5. Evaluate. 6. Create.
First, remember. Remember the name, the shape, the color, the size, and the smell of the flower. And the second one, understand. We need to learn the information, why flower love the sunshine, why smell so good, and also why the flower give positivity and energy and help people feel secure and relaxed. And the third one, pick all the flowers and cut off the leaves on the stem at the base of the flower. Keep the stem long. Hold the flowers from their stem just below the blossom head. Use a rubber band or floral tape to bind the stem. Now, wrap the bouquet in tissue as shown in the picture. And give it to the person who is important to you so that can feel that he or she is important to you. Fourth one, analyze. You need to examine and studying the parts of the flower, something like that. So what are the parts of the flower? Pentacle, receptacle, sepal, petal, stamen, anther, pistil, stigma, and ovary. And the second to the last, evaluate. We compare it to other sources such as plant. Here we need to find out who has more benefits, like affordability, who has the good smell, and the packaging ways also. Step or the last one, create. We can form a flower into bouquet. It's now easy to come up with new cute shop design and good name like MD Bouquet Shop and the good slogan Natural Fresh Flower. So that's all the 6 steps of Bloom's taxonomy. The last question. A test may be reliable but not necessarily valid. It is possible for a test to be valid but not reliable. I think The tricky part is that can tests be reliable without being valid? However, a test cannot be valid unless it is reliable. An assessment can provide you with consistent result, making reliable, but unless it's measuring what you are supposed to measure, it is not valid. So, that's all. Thanks for watching. God bless you all.
Good day everyone, I am Lionel Payam from BP81. So for today's videos, we will answer the questions that I received from my groupmates. Let's go. Number 1 question is, the students of Mr. Villano are very noisy. To keep them busy, they were given any test available in the classroom, and then the results were graded as a way to punish them. Which statement best explains if the practice is acceptable or not? A. The practice is acceptable because students behave well when they were given tests. B. The practice is not acceptable because it violates the principle of reliability. C. The practice is not acceptable because it violates the principle of validity. And letter D. The practice is acceptable since the test results are graded. Then I choose letter C because the practice is not acceptable because it violates the principle of validity. Perhaps this validity should have been discussed first. It's so very important. Then validity means that the assessment process assess what is claims to assess. Then example, the unit of competency or cluster of units. Then the number 2 question is, Mr. Gringo tried to correlate the scores of his pupils in the social studies test with their grades in the same subject last third quarter. Then the question is, what does validity is trying to establish? Number 1, content validity. B, letter A, content validity. Letter B, construct validity. Letter C, concurrent validity. And letter D, criterion related validity. Then I choose letter D for me because to evaluate criterion validity, you calculate the correlation between the results of your measurements. Then the criterion measurement, if there is a high correlation, then it gives a good indication that your test is measuring what it intends to measure. And the last question is, which of the following situations may lower the validity of tests? A. Mrs. Senna increases the number of items measuring each specific skills from 3 to 5. B. Mr. Santosa simplifies the language in the directions for the test. C. Mr. Lopeza removes the items in the achievements test that everyone will be able to answer correctly. And letter D, none of the above. And I choose letter C. Mr. Lopeza removes the items in the achievement test that everyone will be able to answer correctly, because Mr. Lopeza removes the items in the test so that the validity may be lower. I think Mr. Santosa is very understandable teacher because he removed some items in the test so that each students able to answer them correctly. And that's all. Thank you for listening. God bless.
Hello, my name is John Duane Jacinto, and I am going to answer 3 questions given to me by my leader. So the first question is, a 50-item test was administered to a group of 20 students. The mean score was 35, while standard deviation was 5.5. Compute the KR21 index of reality. So now I have here the formula or the problem that I have solved. So first is the formula. This is the number of items and the number of items. The one is constant, so the mean score is 35, so 50 minus 35, 50, and then multiply it by 5.5. Hold on. Just gonna put it. Okay. So 50 minus 35, we get 15, and then multiply it to 35, and we will get 525. and then 50 multiplied by 5.5, you will get 275, if I'm correct. Let me check that for me. Yes, so this is 275, and then bring down 50, and then 50 minus 1 equals 49, and then we will divide 525 with 275. We will get 1.90909, and then bring down 1, and then 50 divided by 49, you will get 1.02041, and then bring down 1.02041 minus 1, it will become negative 0.90909. Then what we're going to do is we're gonna multiply this 2, then we're gonna get negative 0.92764. so that is the KR21 index of reliability. So moving on to the next question. Second question is, Miss Plantilla developed an achievement test in math for her grade 3 pupils. Before she finalized the test, she examined carefully if the test items were constructed based on the competencies that have to be tested. What test of validity was she trying to establish? So my answer is content validity. Based on the information that was provided to us, it states that a test is valid when it is aligned with the learning outcome. And searching content validity online, it says that content validity, Rossiter 2008, says is defined as the degree to which elements of an assessment instrument are relevant to a representative of the targeted construct for a particular assessment purpose. Miss Plantilla wants a specific outcome from the content of the test to see if her students have learned and are aligned with the learning outcome. Third question. What type of validity does pre-board examination possesses if its results can explain how the students will likely perform in their licensure examination? So my answer is predictive validity. Based to the information that was provided to us, again, it states that validity is the extent to which a test measures what is supposed to measure. And searching predictive validity online, I found that predictive validity is the extent to which a test or a questionnaire predicts some future or desired outcome. Pre-board examinees desire a specific outcome for them to know how will they perform in their licensure examination. So that's all. Thank you, and I'll see you again.